Hello everyone and welcome to Photochemistry Lecture 5. In the earlier lecture we have discussed about some of the basic concepts of photochemistry. In lecture 4 we have discussed about photoisomerization reaction and today we are going to focus on dipymethane rearrangement reaction. Look at this picture. What have you done here? You are rearranging your room. During this process, what did you do? You have shifted your bed from window side to middle of the room. Did anything else change? No. The window, door, color of the room, everything is same. Did you add or remove anything? No. Same thing happens in a rearrangement reaction. In a rearrangement reaction, there is a shift of an atom or a bond from one place to another, leading to the formation of a structural isomer of the original molecule. For example, just see the first reaction. There is a shift of hydrogen atom from one position to three position, giving rise to an isomer. In the second reaction, there is a shift of bond, as a result of which there is a ring expansion, a 6-membered ring getting converted to 7-membered ring. It is noteworthy to mention here that in this reaction, no elimination, addition or substitution takes place. The molecule only rearranges. The atom economy of the reaction is 100% and the reaction is eco-friendly. Atom economy, what is that? Let's see what atom economy means. Atom economy is a measure of efficiency of a reaction in terms of all atoms involved and the desired product produced. Its formula is molecular weight of the desired product divided by molecular weight of the desired product plus waste into 100. So, from this expression, it is clear that lesser the waste generated in a reaction, more is the atom economy and more efficient is the reaction. Since in rearrangement reactions, no waste is generated, therefore, atom economy is 100% and the reaction is called a green reaction. Having this background in mind, let's see what dipymethane rearrangement is. This rearrangement happens in 1,4-diene system where the two double bonds are separated by sp3 carbon, giving rise to a vinyl cyclopropane derivative. This rearrangement happens photochemically. This reaction was established by Zimmermann and therefore it is sometimes called Zimmermann reaction. Now let's focus on the name of the rearrangement reaction. Why dipymethane rearrangement? The system has two double bonds and so it is called dipy attached to a saturated carbon, so methane. And as you can see that there is rearrangement of bond or shifting of bond from one place to another, double bond at one position shifting to C3 to generate the cyclopropane ring, and the bond between C3 and C4 is breaking and joining at C2 carbon to form the vinyl moiety. Therefore, this is a rearrangement reaction and so it is called dipymethane rearrangement reaction. Now let's look at the mechanism of the reaction. When a 1,4-pentadiene system is excited photochemically, pi-pi stir transition occurs, resulting in the formation of diradical species. This diradical species give rise to 1,5-diradical through the formation of bond between C2 and C4 carbon as they are in close proximity with each other. 1,5-diradical then gets converted to 1,3-diradical by homolytic cleavage of C2 and C3 bond. Finally, the radicals at 1 and 3 positions with respect to each other combines to form the cyclopropane ring, giving rise to the product vinyl cyclopropane derivative. Look, this is the vinyl moiety and this is the cyclopropane ring. So the net result is that 1,4-cyclopentadiene system getting converted to vinyl cyclopropane derivative in the presence of light. Remember, in acyclic 1,4-dienes or aryl alkene, undergoing this reaction will undergo this reaction by singlet pi-pi stir excitation, and cyclic 1,4-dienes by triplet pi-pi stir excitation with the help of a photosensitizer. Dipymethane rearrangement is favorable on substrates having substituents on the sp3 carbon, as substituents bring C2 and C4 carbon closer to form the bond between them. Look at this molecule. Can it undergo dipymethane rearrangement? Yes, why not? If the earlier molecule which we have discussed undergo dipymethane rearrangement, then why not this? Is there any difference between the two molecules? Yes. The present molecule is an unsymmetrical 1,4-diene and the earlier molecule is a symmetrical 1,4-diene. How does unsymmetrical 1,4-diene behave under this reaction condition? The first thing which you should remember here is that this is a acyclic compound. So, it undergoes dipymethane rearrangement by direct irradiation in the singlet state. In the presence of a sensitizer, that is, in the triplet state, it can only undergo cis-trans isomerization. And the isomerized product on direct irradiation can again undergo dipymethane rearrangement. The second thing which you should remember here is that since the molecule is unsymmetrical, therefore there can be more than one dipymethane rearrangement products. But the regioselectivity of the reaction will depend on the biradical stability. Biradical stability, what is that? Let's see the mechanism of the reaction. First step is the pi-pi stir excitation leading to the formation of 1,5-diradical with the formation of bond between C2 and C4 carbons. Next step is the formation of 1,3-diradical. For this, either the red color bond or the blue color bond has to break. Now, which bond will break? This depends on the stability of the diradical at 1 and 5 position. Note that one radical is a secondary radical and the other radical is tertiary radical. Tertiary radical is always more stable and so the red bond which is attached to it will not break. Which bond will break? The blue bond will break, leading to the formation of 1,3 diradical, and this 1,3 diradical will combine to form the cyclopropane ring, and the final product is vinyl cyclopropane derivative. Now I hope you understood why the regioselectivity of the reaction will depend on diradical stability. Can this rearrangement reaction occur in cyclic compounds? Look at this compound berylline. It also has a 1,4-pentadiene system indicated by the blue bonds. So, it can also undergo dipymethane rearrangement. Since berylline is a cyclic compound, it undergoes dipymethane rearrangement only in the triplet state in the presence of photosensitizer to give semi-bulvalene. When berylline is irradiated directly, it isomerizes to cyclooctatetraene. Formation of semi-bulvalene can be explained by this mechanism. Though it is a cyclic compound, the mechanism remains the same. First, pi-pi star excitation leading to the formation of 1,5 diradical with simultaneous bond formation between C2 and C4 carbons. Then formation of 1,3 diradical by homolytic cleavage of C3-C4 or C2-C3 bond. Finally, 1,3 diradical joins to give semi-bulvalene. As an extension of dipymethane rearrangement, beta-gamma unsaturated ketones or aldehydes also undergo similar types of rearrangement called oxo-dipymethane rearrangement. Now, what are beta-gamma unsaturated ketones? This is a beta-gamma unsaturated ketone, and they are similar to 1,4-diene system, and therefore they can also undergo dipymethane rearrangement reaction, but this rearrangement is called oxa-dipymethane rearrangement. The product of oxa-dipymethane rearrangement is cyclopropyl ketone, whereas the product of dipymethane rearrangement is vinyl cyclopropane derivative. The mechanism of oxa-dipymethane rearrangement is very similar to dipymethane rearrangement. The first step is pi-pi star excitation of carbonyl bond leading to the formation of diradical, followed by formation of 1,5 diradical with C2-C4 bond formation. 1,5 diradical will get converted to 1,3 diradical by homolytic cleavage of C2-C3 bond and not C3-C4 bond, as cleavage of C2-C3 bond will give back the carbonyl group. 1,3 diradical will finally join to give the cyclopropane derivative, cyclopropyl ketone. Oxa-dipymethane rearrangement can also occur in cyclic system. This is a cyclic beta-gamma unsaturated ketone. Mechanism of the reaction is same as that for our acyclic system. I think we have discussed enough on dipymethane rearrangement reactions. Now it's time for you to try yourself and practice more examples. Here are some assignments for you. Try dipymethane and oxodipymethane rearrangement reaction on the following compounds. Please leave the answer in the comment section. In summary, 1,4-diene undergoes dipymethane rearrangement to give vinyl cyclopropane. Beta-gamma unsaturated ketones also undergo this type of rearrangement called oxodipymethane rearrangement. Acyclic dienes or aryl ketones undergo reaction by singlet pi-pi-stir excitation and cyclic 1,4-diene by triplet pi-pi-stir excitation. This reaction is favorable on substrates having substituents on the sp3 carbon atoms. The reaction is regioselective and the regioselectivity of the reaction depends on the diradical stability. While writing dipymethane rearrangement, you have to keep some steps in your mind. The first step is identify the 1,4-pentadiene or beta-gamma unsaturated ketone moiety. Second step is number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third step, form 1,5-diradical with the formation of C2C4 bond. Fourth step, form 1,3-diradical by cleavage of either C2C3 or C3C4 bond depending on the stability of the diradical. Fifth, note that during this process the double bond is regenerated on the other side. Finally, combination of 1,3-diradical gives the cyclopropane derivative. That's all for today's lecture. Myself, Dr. Kakali Lahiri, signing off and will be back soon with the next lecture. If you like my lecture, please subscribe and comment. The links for the earlier lectures are provided in the description box. Thank you and bye-bye.